Dave, he's live on Prospect Road, I believe. That's just south of Forestville, right, Dave? What are you seeing there?
Well, one of the things I just saw, Scott, was this piece of a roof truss. It came to rest about 100 feet away from that home right over there, where whatever came through today tore the roof completely off. It is an example of the kind of destruction we've been seeing all day down here. Near Straight Road in the town of Arkwright, where the first of the suspected twisters touched down this morning, Patrick Del Monte says he lost 75% of the trees on his property.
Oh, the train was coming. They say the sound of it. Oh yeah, you know it. There's no other description for it. Trains are coming, and it came fast. From the time I heard the train, we barely made it to the downstairs basement.
On Route 39, east of Forestville, large branches down from this red maple tree along a path of straight line damage that you can see across the road. And back here at this home, you can see that the power service was ripped right off the side of the house. Also the antenna from the roof. And then down here, one of several shingles out here in the road, and beyond here, apples literally ripped right off the tree, but the real problem was just up the road a piece.
It sounds like the road was half blocked off, and she missed the flares that were in the road and drove into the end of the tree.
An elderly woman who appeared to be shaken but otherwise okay, according to Brandon Gribish with the Silver Creek Fire Department, who also serves as Assistant Highway Superintendent for the town of Hanover, which was a good thing.
We were just around the corner removing another tree on Empire Road, so we just had them come over and use that, made quick work of it.
In the town of Villanova, several horses were injured when they were inside this barn when it was toppled, and on Prospect Road near Forestville, this barn, with the truck still inside of it, was completely obliterated near a home which was barely missed by this large tree that otherwise would have destroyed it. Of course, at the end, it's going to have to be up to weather experts to come in and view this straight line damage. Trees, large ones, completely uprooted, branches snapped off with pieces of homes and barns embedded in between them. That's the situation down here. Let's go to my colleague, Natalie Foss.
Hey Dave, yeah, I'm here on Sauer Road in Eden, and we've been here since about 1 in this afternoon. So right now we are just starting to see cars travel down the road. It was closed for most of the day. Fire crews left about an hour and a half ago, and there was some pretty extensive damage when we got here. Trees all over the roads, power lines down. It was really kind of a sight to see. We saw a couple homes with trees down on them. One home had a roof ripped right off. The insulation was hanging in the trees, and their goats were running around the yard. They told us that when they got here right down the street on Gary Road, it was unrecognizable. There was at least 4 feet of trees. So the damage was cleaned up in a couple of hours here, but now we are going to head over to my colleague Andy Payton, who is here in Eden as well. And Andy, you spoke to the County Executive Mark Poloncarz, correct?
Yeah, that's right, Natalie. Probably about an hour and a half ago, and he did confirm to me that a state of emergency is in place here in Eden. And I want to step out of the way here to show you just why that's the case. Take a look behind us here. You can see those crews working on this tree that has completely fallen down. We are on Sissons Highway here in Eden. It's been blocked off for the past few hours here as crews try to work on that, as a number of power lines are down, also contributing to this problem here in Eden. Well, from what we've been told from officials, a tornado they believe came through here. They cannot confirm that though right now, because that is the National Weather Service's job, who will come in here and investigate for the next day or two. But they're pretty confident, just when you take a look at some of this video that we want to show you here, that tornado came through here earlier today. Some tell me that they believe it could have been stronger than an EF1 tornado, and the county executive telling me that just based off the damage that he's seen from this is one of the more extensive tornadoes that he's seen in his time in office. Take a listen to this.
It's not the first tornado that I've seen during my tenure. We've seen tornadoes in the past, but this appears to be the worst damage. We've had a minor earthquake. We've certainly had snowstorms. We've had ice storms, floods. The only thing we really haven't had is a hurricane, but this was the remnants of a hurricane, and it created a tornado.
Yeah, and maybe the most important part of all this is that there were no injuries to report. And when you take a look at some of this video and some of the damages, we're pretty lucky considering all that no one was hurt. Really, the extent of the damages, the injuries that we're told took place here were just barn animals. Back out here live now, you can see those crews again working on those power lines behind me there. At one point, we're told 30,000 customers were without power inside Erie County here, but that number is now significantly down. And the county executive tells me that we can expect the power to be back on tonight by midnight. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this. We'll continue to monitor this situation here in Eden and all across Erie County and have another update for you tonight at 11. But for now, on your side here in the town of Eden, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.
Thank you so much, Andy. Yes, and we continue our team coverage right now, and I wanted to show you some of these storm reports that continue to come in. And this is what we're tracking. Dan and I were here all afternoon tracking severe weather coming through, and one particular severe thunderstorm started in Ripley and continued to make its way across northern Chautauqua County, central Erie County, and then ended in Akron. And this is the one we think that's likely dropped one, if not two, tornadoes during its path. So damage started in Ripley. You had reports of trees down as that severe thunderstorm moved through Chautauqua County. Then it moved through the Forestville area, also bringing down trees, causing damage to some property, roof blown off of a barn there. And also you saw some other wind damage as well in some of these video and storm reports. And then it continued to shift into Erie County. We had reports of damage there through Eden, North Collins, also the Clarksburg area and Langford as well. Trees toppled over even on a house in Eden as well. And then that storm continued to move into Akron, where we also had some trees down. It had a tornado warning on it the entire track of that storm. So we had most of that damage south, and that's where we find Ron Plants continuing our team coverage in the town of Aurora. Ron?
All right, we can tell you, Jennifer, right now that we are here on West Falls Road. This is actually, again, in the town of Aurora, and again, that would be to the southeast of Orchard Park in that area. And right now, all these crews have really come on scene here, probably in the last half hour, 45 minutes. It says disaster relief on that truck right there. And even though we do not see damage in terms of actual homes, except for some shingles that apparently came off roofs, we do know that there's a lot of devastation here in terms of that tree damage. Again, that one right over there across the street, you can see how that was maybe about a 40, 50-foot tree that came down, completely uprooted, fortunately fell away from the house. But again, we did see a lot of activity here that would indicate that these trees were just torn away by the roots or just knocked over by whatever this part of the storm system that came through this area. And we did talk to one lady who actually experienced this just after about 1 o'clock this afternoon, Shania Hacker. Here's what she had to say.
It was like bright out and everything, and then all of a sudden it just went completely black, rain, and the wind was like going sideways. I was like, something doesn't feel right. So I took my dog into like the middle of the house because I was like, I don't know. And literally my sister texted me, I think we're okay, because she only lives a mile away. And then I was like, I don't think we are. And so then sure enough, it lasted all of like 30 seconds. And I got up and looked in the back and I was like, oh my gosh, it came through here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that was the reaction of a lot of people, perhaps even stronger language when they had a chance to actually look at what they saw here. Now, again, from what we understand, no injuries here, as everybody's been saying here in terms of in Erie County, but indeed a lot of work here, and I think these tree crews are going to be busy for a long time. Reporting live from the town of Aurora here and on West Falls Road, I'm Ron Plants, Channel 2 News. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Great job from all of our reporters out in the field tonight. Ron, thank you.